this George White has a real side. They actually own the real thing, not just a small replica. And it's over there, and so we'll cut to that right now. Okay, that was the real engine. That's what this one's modeled after. Okay, so he's going to show us this real quick. How can it be so quiet? Everything is just exact, huh? Right down to the governor and the belt. Now you're loading the coal by hand, huh? There you go.
You gotta get some water in this thing too.
Little coal box. Throws the coal in that door down there. Okay. Just like the real everything. Goodness sakes. Nick Werth was just telling me that his grandfather would make wooden replica casts of all the pieces from the original one, and then take it to a foundry. Foundry, much no longer in business, I don't believe. So essentially a casting foundry in Fargo, and then they would cast all these little pieces to scale. And you'd have to have them absolutely perfect.
Well, there's some shrinkage involved when you pull cast iron, so some of the patterns actually had to be made slightly larger.
He had to calculate that.
Yes. This casting here pattern would be for the engine cylinder, which is right here. And then this piece, the valve chest, and the cover.
And so these are the casts that he made that then the foundry would use to make the casted pieces.
They would cast that into a sand mold.
Sand mold.
This is actually the engine cylinder. It was done in half. They would take the sand in a box, in a core, one half into this half, the other half into here.
And then they would make their own sand cast and then the wood would go back to him, and they could make another if they had to.
Yep. So that is how the engine cylinders were made on this engine. It isn't an engine that was pulled off of an old combine or something like that.
So he had to be a really good woodworker on top of all this engineering.
Yep.
Good Lord, these guys are smart.
Some other patterns that are for this particular engine. This would be the front door. That should fit down here. But that is the pattern for that.
Yeah, and that's wood as well.
That's wood.
Why is
as
it
well.
painted? Just for
You
show?
know,
Or?
I'm not real sure.
Okay.
It maybe had something to do with the sand not sticking to it.
Maybe, yeah. I noticed a lot of them are painted.
This little pattern here would have been for the wheel hub.
Oh yeah, sure. I see that.
I think the black part of that is actually supposed to indicate that that's not a critical part of the casting process. That would just be
Something he could mill.
something that would be later taken off.
Right.
We've got
Like these could be anything bigger, and then you could always mill
Yep.
them down on.
this is actually a rear wheel though. Go back here, and you can see how this, this particular cast was actually this at one time, and then machined down or
Yeah,
turned down, milled down for that.
for that detail. How many years did it take for him to do all this and make one of these?
I never met Grandpa. He passed away before I was born, but I did read some articles, and I think he claimed that it could have been as much as 5 to 6 years.
To make one of these.
In his spare time.
Oh, okay.
This is an interesting little part, kind of funny. I think what it is inside of here, it's called an eccentric.
Oh yeah, so
And
it's
that
a little
turns-
cam kind of feature.
Yeah,
on the-
it turns off the center of that shaft, and that's what actually runs the valve that admits the steam in and out of the cylinder.
Okay, so that opens that valve going forward.
It opens and closes, yep.
Looks like he's getting a horn. That was the pressure valve going off. So it basically reaches a certain pressure, and then that safety valve lets off the pressure before things get too dangerously high.
We need a couple of them because that's the one we were looking at earlier, and this one's new. It's a different one than we were looking at.
Right.
This would be another casting, and that is a counterweight for the crankshaft.
Oh sure, yeah, I can see that.
You can see those parts there.
Right, go right in there. Yeah.
And I always wondered about that. I just found some of these patterns just this summer. I thought a lot of them were all gone. And I found a box of them at the house. And I was really happy and excited.
Well, only you would have recognized what the heck it was.
Well, maybe some of the family might have. This is what's inside the firebox. Fire sits on top of here. Air comes up from underneath.
Oh, okay.
They're grates. There's actually 2 of them in
And
there.
then the ash will fall through.
ash will fall through into an ash pan.
Got it.
We don't have a whole lot of the patterns for this other miniature, but there is this. That's kind of pretty neat.
Yeah, that would be that'd be the keeper. That's for sure of all of it.
How did you make that? That's so precise.
Well, he did a lot of stuff with turning lathes. You can see there's some of that was done with a turning lathe. That's with the rounding of it. Letters like this you could actually buy. So those were bought and glued on there. Different fonts and stuff.
Right. But he didn't have to be a master carver too.
No,
per se. But pretty close.
Yeah, pretty close, because you can see that even these are nailed on. Those were made out of wood and nailed on.
Got it.
Here's a rough cast.
So that's what it would look like after the cast. Before he had to work this. This is raw.
That is a raw iron
And
cast.
there's a lot of work before this becomes a working machine part.
There's machine work to be done on there. This would have had to been trued up and flat.
Right.
This would have been bored out to fit a shaft. Probably maybe even a keyway in there and a set screw.
So even though the casting's done, there's a lot of hours left in making this an actual part.
up some steam here. I've
Yeah, go ahead.
got enough fire to make it work.
I can see water coming up through here. We can't get this close to the big one, but they work exactly the same, so why not take a look at this one, right?
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for stopping. Thanks.
Gonna go find a warm place for food. Thank you.
Thanks for stopping.
Yeah.
There's lots of other stuff to see.
Oh yeah, he's so giddy.